you're struggling with your life, you feel things are never going to get better, you feel fearful, you feel down, you feel that you can't go on, you feel like you're doing the same things every day and you're not moving towards where you want to be, and this is where you can give up. And in this video, I'm going to tell you how you can get from there. Let's go. So you're feeling down and out in the dark space, you don't feel good. So if you know my story, you'll know that I suffered with depression about 20 years ago, and I was in a really dark space. It was really difficult. I didn't know what was happening to me. It was a really dark space. Things were really going down. I was going to work, doing the same things every day. I didn't feel I was adding any value, and I didn't really know what was going on. I was just going deeper and deeper into this dark black hole. And as I said before, it's like I didn't feel like I was adding value. I didn't feel I knew where I was going. I just feel like I was doing the same things. Yes, I was earning money. Yes, I'm doing all the things that on the outside looked all good, but deep down, I was suffering. Deep down, I was in a dark space. Deep down, I was in a hole. It was like a hole, and I was getting deeper and deeper and deeper into this hole. And I didn't know why. And for me, it was about increasing self-awareness. So one of the big things to do when you come out of that space is you first got to understand what's going on. You first got to understand what's happening. And I didn't know that at first. I needed someone else to look in from the outside. And for me, what I needed to do is to reach out. And I didn't want to reach out. I felt embarrassed. I felt fearful. I felt like I'm not good enough. I felt that I'm failing everybody, and I didn't know how to reach out. Anyway, it came to crescendo. I was driving to work. I didn't want to go to work. I was driving to work, but I was going to go past work. I didn't even want to go into work. I was going to drive past and never come back. That's how I felt. And I had thoughts that I didn't want to be here anymore. I had suicidal thoughts, and I thought, this was it. So I did go into work. I had sitting there in the morning, but I just couldn't function. I couldn't concentrate. And so I had a meeting with my manager, and I got sent home. I went to the doctors, and I had a very short discussion with the doctor. I told him what was going on about thoughts I was having, and he diagnosed me with depression. That was the turning point. That was self-awareness. That was what I needed to start to build, because now I knew my enemy. Now I knew what I needed to deal with. A lot of times we don't know what we're dealing with, and that's the problem, because sometimes we might just put our heads in the sand. I could have just dug my head in the sand and just carried on, but I didn't. I wanted to find out what was going on. In a deep level somewhere in me, I wanted to find out what was going on, and now I knew, and now I could start to deal with it. And this is why you don't give up. This is why you move on. I wanted to give up, but something inside was telling me no, not to give up, not to give up, because there's a deep-seated thing inside me. I want to help people. I wanted to help people. I had a big team of people. If you go to the podcast, the link below, there's an episode. If you go to my journey, that's my episode on the podcast, and you'll find out exactly how I went there. There's more details of that, what we talk in the podcast about. Lee, who helps me run the podcast, was actually in the same team. He's in my team, and he couldn't tell that I was feeling depressed. He couldn't tell any of those things. So on the outside, people may seem okay, but they're not. That might be happening to you right now. But the best thing you can do is to reach out to somebody, whether there is looking at different content to help you, whether this video helps you reach out. There's lots of different organisations you can do that. But what I'd say to you, don't ever give up. That's the thing you shouldn't do. There's always strategies you can do. So now once I knew my enemy, then I could start to deal with it. So what I started to do was start to look at self-development. It wasn't even a conscious thing. What it was a book that my mum gave me. The book was called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway by Susan Jeffers, and that's the start of my self-development journey. So that self-development journey led me to start to look at myself, look deeper in what am I doing, what was driving me, why was I doing what I was doing, and I realised then I needed to do something different. I needed to change. So yes, I got help. Yes, I got the usual help and medications and all that, but I started on this self journey. So then I got into coaching. I was training people anyway, but I got into coaching. Went to a free coaching weekend, and this is why you're seeing this video right now. And this is where I want to help you. So when we say not to give up, this is where we're at right now. You might be at a point where you're giving up. Now look at this time. We're in the pandemic, right? We're in the pandemic, and a lot of you may want to give up and just be filled up with fear. The most important thing around this is not to give up. It's to recognise the reality. I'm not talking about fake rah rah rah, yeah, it's all okay. It's about being realistic. It's about finding out the information, going, hey, I know what's going on, but I'm finding things difficult at the moment. So what could you start to do? Do you need to reach out to someone? Do you need to look at more inspirational material? Do you need to write out what your thoughts are and actually examine them? So I've been recently digging into David Goggins' world. Got his book, Can't Hurt Me. And in this book, it's very inspirational. He talks about his life story, and I've just told you a bit about me and his story about not giving up. We are much more capable than what we're thinking about. We are much more capable than what we think we can achieve. David talks about you're only 40% when you want to give up. There's actually another 60%. What I believe in as well is you can improve every day. So when I was feeling really down, I looked at that book and I did the exercises. I put in the work. Through that book, I recognised I wasn't alone. There's lots of people that are going through the same thing that you're going through right now. And I call this, when we do the work, every single day. It doesn't matter how big or small it is. In fact, I would recommend going with the small actions first, writing out your thoughts and examining them and saying, how can I change this thought to something that's going to serve me rather than self-defeating me? You are probably telling yourself, I'm not good enough. I can't do this. I'm not capable of this. I feel fearful. And those are all your mind trying to keep you safe. It wants you to keep you small because it doesn't want you to get hurt. But the problem with that is that you don't do anything and you feel inside, you know, deep down in your heart, deep down in your heart that you can give more, that you know more. And that's what you got to do. You got to use this to your ability. This is the thing here. We're not given a manual when we are born. We're not given a manual. So now you have to learn how to use it. And a lot of time until you get to this stage, no one's giving you the manual. You know, I was in my early 30s when I suffered. No one gave me the manual. I was just going through life on autopilot, unaware of what was going on. I was just going through it because it's really interesting when we think about our lives. Now, if you're lucky enough, if you're watching this, if you're lucky enough that you've got a school system, right? Some people may not be lucky enough, right? You're watching this video, but you've got access to the internet, so there's lots of education there. In here in the UK, we've got school systems, okay? So you get born, you go into something called play school, kindergarten in America. You go through, you go there. So you got stages, right? You get into kindergarten, you go from kindergarten, you go into primary school. You go primary school, you go through 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, 4 years. There's always milestones, right? This feels it's progress. You feel it's going on. Then you go into secondary school, which is the next stage, and you go through years, I think 6, 7, 8, whatever they are now, and you've got progression milestones. And so you don't really have to think about it because the system's laid out for you. Now, it's not the most perfect system. I think there should be a lot more around thought development, self-awareness in schools, but we're not with a purpose, and that's why I'm doing this content for you, to help you become more self-aware so you can focus on the things that you want to achieve and live a life worth living, that you want to live, you want to carve out, you want to influence, you want to shape your future rather than just be random. So as you went through that school life, you had a system, and you relied on that system. The problem is with that system is that it doesn't show you how to use that information for you to do the thing you love when you leave. You're to all the sort of mainstream subjects, but some of those subjects you may not connect with at all. Some of them you might do, but how then when you come out of that, how do you then build your business or build a career around it? So my daughter, off at university, she's doing forensic psychology. They're teaching her all the information, but what they're not doing is saying, okay, so when you come out of it, what are you actually going to be doing? Now, we're quite lucky. In this particular course, they've got some work placements, so that might give you the idea, might give you structure, might give you contacts, but it's all about the communications, all about the contacts. It's about if you want to build your own psychology business, what would that look like? How do you reach out? How do you get clients? All those types of things are important. And that's what the systems don't tell you. That's what universities don't tell you. They give you lovely information, but they're not getting experience and not getting the actual life experience that you need to communicate. I've trained lots of university graduates in my team, and they've come to me where I've worked, and I've trained them, right? And the thing is, they've got some amazing information, but it's how I use it. It's like, how do I step in and take the action? That's the next step. It's the fear. It's here. Have the information, but I need to I need to focus on this, and how do I get past it? So I'm going to give you 3 steps to do it. So number 1 is have a massive, huge vision for your life of not giving up. Okay, I want you to think about what's the most exciting version of your life that you can write it all out in detail. I don't care how long it takes, wait 30 minutes, 40 minutes, an hour, I don't care. It should be the most exciting, and I want you to say to yourself, there are no limits. There's no limits, okay? Secondly, I want you to start to discover your purpose. So where does your purpose come from? Your purpose comes from the painful moments you had in your life. So for me, was my depression. That was the key for me to move forward. So I've helped people with their careers throughout my whole life. I've trained people from know nothing about the place where I work in, me coaching and training, to a place where they can then get progressed and become managers and everything like that. That's always been my life's work, and I'm aware of that now. That's my purpose. My purpose is to help people remember not to give up, right? To make sure that they're going to live that life, to make sure that they have that ability. And it's not about resources, okay? It's not about what you have, it's about what you have being resourceful, okay? Resourcefulness, and that's what's important. A lot of the people you look up to would have started with a lot less than you right now. And so that's what you need to focus on. So what's the smallest thing that you can do to implement that plan? What's the smallest thing? It could be that you need to write a blog. It could be that you need to start a website. It could be that you need to reach out to someone, communicate with someone. It may be that you need some coaching. Don't stop. Once you take that action, keep taking those actions. Start living the life that you want to live. Okay, you need to start scheduling it in your day. You need to start, if you want to do like travel blogs or something, you need to start doing it. So it may not be you can go like abroad or like to really posh countries. It might be that you just visit little areas in your country. It's a bit difficult now in the pandemic, but it could be that you give information on countries that you've been to. It could be that you research on the internet about different countries and give people that information in a short video. There's lots of opportunities, but you just have to be resourceful. And so you just got to keep doing those things every day. And that's how you do it. That's how you don't give up. I hope this has helped. Just stay inspired. Don't ever give up. You've got lots more to go. You're only at 40%, and I talk about 0.5%. And at 0.5, you do one action a day that's small enough, it will start to build, and you'll start building and building. And 0.5%, if you add that over the year, it's a crazy amount, okay? So if you multiply 0.5% by 365 days of the year, that's 182% over a year if you just do one small thing, a 0.5%, and that's what I call progress. So I hope this has helped. So I'm doing some coaching at the moment. I've got 2 options for you. You've got a free option where you will just have coaching with me. We'll have a coaching session over Zoom and we'll post it on my channel. It'll be public. And option number 2 is where we do private paid coaching, and the details again are in the description below. So if you want me to coach you, please reach out to me, message me, details below. If you really enjoyed this video, I'd love you to check this video out over here about why you're built to serve. I've done a book review of Evan Carmichael's book. I think you'll really enjoy it. Also, don't forget to subscribe, click the link here, and so you'll get a notification when my next video goes live. So until next time, stay inspired, Inspiration Nation. Catch you later.